This is Iris Lloyd, president of CUPE New Brunswick, and you are listening to CUPE Talks in the Maritimes with Nick and Chris.
Do you have any takeaways that you're going to be taking from the courses that you've learned so far?
Yes. So I've done a lot of the single day training courses through CUPE already. And one of the most valuable things is speaking and discussing events and experiences with the other participants.
And I would love to see more members get involved with anything, whether it's start out on a small committee. We want to see,
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've learned here this week?
It's a great learning experience, and as long as I've been around and involved, I'm still learning.
I am Nicholas London, co-host of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
I'm Chris Watson, president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labour and co-host of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Hi, my name is Brien Watson, former president of CUPE New Brunswick and now the producer of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes and across Canada.
Wes Wills, Local 380 Vice President.
Hey, this is Justin Spooner, Region DVP and First Vice President of CUPE 1253.
I'm Shelby Dodge, President of Local 3226.
Karen Tier, President of the New Brunswick Council of Nursing Home Unions.
I'm Jamie Agnew, and I'm the President of CUPE Local 963, representing New Brunswick liquor store, retail, and warehouse workers.
I'm Sherry Hillier, President of CUPE Newfoundland and Labrador and General Vice President for the Atlantic Maritimes.
I'm Cheryl Ann Keown, and I'm the Healthcare Council President, PEI, and I also sit on Local 805.
Quay, hello. This is Kathy Johnson, President of CUPE 5446.
Hi, my name is Dorinda Smith. I'm from Local 813.
I'm Teresa McAllister, Provincial President of CUPE 2745 Educational Support Staff.
Bonjour, ici Alain Soucy, membre du SCFP, Syndicat canadien de la fonction publique.
Hey everyone, this is Candace Rennick, CUPE's National Secretary Treasurer, and you're listening to CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Hey, this is Mark Hancock, CUPE National President, and you're listening to CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Welcome everyone to our September edition of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes. I am joined alongside my co-host, Nicholas London. Nick, how you making out, brother?
I'm excited. I have been excited about this all weekend, being back on the airwaves with some of our closest family members, breaking down what is happening in the world. So very excited to be here. How about yourself?
I'm excited to be here. Absolutely. I got watching that video and that intro, and that just gives me chills. I was there for a lot of those different functions and being at those rallies. And let me tell you, that just gives a little bit more fuel to the fire, which we know that we need. As you know, we have an active strike over in Prince Edward Island, so they need fuel for the fire too. So we're going to be discussing that and many, many other different topics here.
We have got a loaded show. Let me tell you. I mean, my goodness, in the last month, we have managed to be very active, whether it was you at the Blair Doucet camp, which we're going to talk later on about, whether it was CUPE barbecues, pride parades, we have been very active. You must be tired. You have done a lot. You've been on the road for 3 straight days.
Yeah, fatigue is definitely setting in. I know we're going to talk about Labor Day a little bit later on, but 3 Labor Day events in 2 days. So it was excellent. But again, that's later on. We've got more issues to discuss right now. One of the things we're going to be talking about is the CUPE barbecue we did.
Let's talk about that. Okay. I mean, I've been a part of barbecues and I've been a part of different activities and having fun. But what CUPE New Brunswick did here was they brought everyone together and they put on what I would argue was one of the best days I've ever gotten to be a part of. The kids had a blast. There were lots of special guests. And Brother Chris, out of those special guests, who were you most excited to see? Who were you surprised to see?
Surprised to see? I'll say surprised to see, but not surprised to see was, of course, our national president, Brother Mark Hancock. I say surprised and not surprised because I'm surprised because I know he's got a jam-packed schedule. but not surprised because I know he always makes time for the membership and to be there and to greet the members and do what's necessary. So surprised, but not surprised.
A lot of retirees came out. There was a ton of people there. Sherry Hillier was there.
General Vice President.
That's right. Iris Lloyd was there. I was waiting for you to. You were on a roll there.
I was on a roll. Oh, sorry. CUPE New Brunswick President.
I like that.
Yeah.
Chris Watson was there.
Federation of Labour President. And co-host of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
My good. We were everywhere.
And Alan Linkletter from CUPE Nova Scotia.
And we're going to get to that. My goodness, we've got a show for you guys. But it would only be right that we would start tonight's show off with a very special message that was put together with Sherry Hillier, with Mark Hancock, with Iris Lloyd, and with Brother Linkletter, the new president of CUPE Nova Scotia. So why don't we roll that footage and give these people a real treat?
Yeah, let's roll the footage.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Iris Lloyd. I'm the CUPE New Brunswick Division President. Along with me today is our National President, Mark Hancock. Beside Mark is our General Vice President of CUPE National and the President of CUPE Newfoundland, Sherry Hillier. And beside me is our friend from Nova Scotia, Alan Linkletter, who is the President of CUPE Nova Scotia. And we'd like to thank everybody for coming out to our community event today. And I'd like to share a few words with Mark.
Great, thanks, Iris. Absolutely, it's great to be here. A beautiful day in St. John, beautiful town, and it's my absolute pleasure to be here. Yesterday, we were over on the island, Prince Edward Island, supporting Local 830 water workers who are on strike. Haven't been on strike in their 60 years of existence, and it was great to be joined by folks from the National Executive Board from the 4 eastern provinces, actually, and to show those workers the support that they deserve. But today is really about just celebrating CUPE members, about celebrating New Brunswick, and I want to take this opportunity to thank our members and frontline workers, actually, here in the province of New Brunswick who show up every day. Sometimes they can be very difficult days, but frontline workers show up each and every day to keep this province running, to keep this province healthy, to keep this province beautiful. And you just think back a few years when we were in the midst of a pandemic. It wasn't that long ago. And while folks like myself and others were retreating to our homes, it was frontline workers here in New Brunswick and all across the country that made sure that our country continued to exist, to be safe, to be healthy. Folks were showing up in hospitals, not sure what impact that was going to have on their family, on their friends. And really, it was CUPE members across the province and across the country that got us through that pandemic and to the place where we are now. So a huge thank you to CUPE members and solidarity, my friends. Sherry?
Hey, CUPE New Brunswick, thank you for the invite over here. My first time to be in St. John. I'm Sherry Hillier. I'm from St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. So, we get confused a lot of times between the two cities, but it's my privilege to be here for sure. And I've been your General Vice President for the past 6 years and loved every minute of what I've been doing as General Vice President. I really welcome what's happening here in New Brunswick, or what has happened. I was part of the Breaking the Mandate launch back in, I think it was 2017, with our late brother, Danny Legier. I can certainly feel his presence around me here today in New Brunswick for sure. But, CUPE New Brunswick has been the face across Canada on what with your bargaining and how you fought back with government. And then you got rid of Satan as the Premier and, the good contracts that you have actually received. So it's amazing to be here. I applaud everyone. I know we have some amazing nursing home workers in the background here. Sharon Tier, Kim Cobb, amazing, and the deals that they had done. And, they worked through COVID, as Mark talked about. So, just thank you for everything you have done. Solidarity, New Brunswick, and thank you for the invite.
Right on.
Hey, CUPE New Brunswick. My name is Linkletter. I'm the newest Regional Vice President on the National Executive Board. I'm also the President of CUPE Nova Scotia. First, I want to shout out to CUPE New Brunswick for the invite. Thank you so much. We can do so much more when we all work together, and we know that with solidarity. And I look forward to many more events with CUPE New Brunswick in the next couple of years.
I just want to shout out the Watson boys here as well. Newest Federation of Labour President Chris has joined me, and Candace and others at the Canadian Council doing a fantastic job representing all of Labour here in New Brunswick. And of course, Dad Brien beside him, who was a great CUPE New Brunswick president. I had the pleasure of serving on the National Executive Board as well. So good job, brothers. Keep it up.
Solidarity, everyone.
Solidarity.
What a great message from all the leadership.
A great positive message. Yes, a message that reached a lot of people, and a lot of people have felt right here. That a very nice message as well to you and your father, the producer of this show, Brien Watson. Well deserved for both of you, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. And you know, when Mark made mention about being the frontline heroes and frontline workers and stuff, a lot of that goes back to the COVID times. And when we're looking at this barbecue, this is, I think, the first one since COVID that we've actually been able to put on. There's a lot of firsts that are happening since COVID. We talked about the Blair Doucet camp, first one since COVID. So, you know, we're starting to slowly get back into these things. So it's nice to see these things become a success. So I know members participated in the past, and they might not be aware. So just make sure that you're looking for the information, and make sure that you're just keeping yourselves up to date. Because all these things that we were able to previously enjoy, it looks like we're going to be able to enjoy those again.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things I was thinking about too was Iris's passion to get this barbecue back up and running. This CUPE Gives Back. It was a home run all day long. It was a great success, but you know, you also got to look at the background, what all those people did to get that together and get that out to the public, because it just shows her love for New Brunswick. It showed all of their love for New Brunswick and wanting to give back to the community, you know, offering a free barbecue to everyone. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's right up there. Like, that is a wonderful thing and a wonderful way to give back to this great community.
Yeah, you're right. It's a great opportunity as public service workers to give back to the people that we ultimately work for, right? Which is the public. Right?
That's right. Yes, we do.
You know, we work for the government, but we're public service workers. So this is our way to say thank you to the public. And it's just, the name speaks for itself. It's CUPE Gives Back. You know, we're always seen sometimes as the negative people. And again, we showed that in 2021 at Halloween when we brought the kids down to the picket line. You know, bring your costumes and we'll give you treats. You know, come down and see us, because usually as public service workers, a lot of the different times, and some we're the first and last people that the children see on the schools. Sometimes the first and last people that people see in nursing homes and hospitals, and all the other sectors as well. So it's, you know, we really are at the frontline heroes of public services.
We really are. Now, at this barbecue, one of the great things was talking to the newly elected president of Nova Scotia, Alan Linkletter. And what made that so unique, again, is this was New Brunswick. This was CUPE New Brunswick Gives Back. And Alan made it a point to be here as a guest. And as you saw, he spoke to people at the when they all got together and had that speech. But also, Alan is a great person. He has really big visions for CUPE Nova Scotia. We know this because we spoke to him. And Chris, how long have you known Alan?
I've known Alan since about 2017, I'm going to say. We actually took facilitator training together over in beautiful Prince Edward Island. So we've had the ability to you know, to do some courses. I know I've run into him at week-longs, things like that, and couldn't be more thrilled for him to be in his new role. And I really look forward to seeing what takes place down in Nova Scotia.
So am I. Why don't we roll that footage of the interview that we did with the newly elected Nova Scotia, CUPE Nova Scotia president, Alan Linkletter.
I'm Chris, alongside Nick as always, for CUPE Talk in the Maritimes, and we have a very special guest with us here today, newly elected CUPE Nova Scotia President, Alan. Alan, how's it going today?
Hey, Chris, thanks. It's pretty good. I'm glad to be here. First of all, I want to say thank you to you and Nick for doing this. I've been a follower for a while now, before I was elected president for CUPE Nova Scotia. I can't say enough good things about what you guys are doing for CUPE in our region. You reach so many members, and like it's just taken off. It's excellent. Thank you so much for that.
Well, we appreciate that. So we saw on Facebook and everything yesterday, you were down in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, supporting CUPE 830. Now you're here in New Brunswick, supporting CUPE Gives Back at our event. Can you talk to us a little bit about the importance of solidarity and doing these sorts of things?
Well, Chris, solidarity within the Atlantic and Maritime provinces is so important. We all strive for better communities, better working environments, and any time now that we can all get together and show our solidarity, it shows the provinces, it shows our elected officials that we're here and we're not going anywhere.
No, 100%. Now, CUPE Nova Scotia, what's going on down there?
So CUPE Nova Scotia is much like every other place. We're doing hard rounds of bargaining. Our home support workers are going through a tough round, as well as our municipal sectors. So in the next couple months, we're going to be very busy, and we'll be looking to you guys for some support as well.
100%.
Guarantee you we will be there for support.
Great.
That's what we do. Now,
Absolutely.
Chris, one thing I want to talk to him about is the fact that you are in Nova Scotia, you managed to be there supporting 830, you managed to be here for CUPE Gives Back. If that doesn't show solidarity, I don't know what does. So on behalf of myself, I want to say thank you, because that's incredible, and you making all this time to do all this, along with everything going on in Nova Scotia right now, says a lot about you personally. So I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you very much.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Interview with him. I really, really think a lot of him. And I think CUPE Nova Scotia is really in great hands under his guidance.
I think so. He's got some great energy, and I think he's got some great ideas on moving into the future. And I think CUPE Nova Scotia is in great hands. And obviously here in New Brunswick, and I know over in Prince Edward Island, there's solidarity between the Atlantic provinces. So we'll be there to support them if they need us as well.
And that was certainly a topic that we had with Alan when he was here, about us, packing up shop and getting down to Nova Scotia to help with solidarity and help with the labor movement, and bring people in and realize what it is that's happening down there, because that is what we do. We make the public aware, and we are not in any way trying to make someone better than they really are or anything like that. This is the truth. We have the truth, and we want you to have the truth. So we're very good at that.
Nothing but the truth.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk a little bit about Blair Doucet camp. It was a week long. I know you had a good time. I know Wes Wills had a good time. I heard you had some guests. Serge Landry was down there. Why don't you give the people a little recap on how your week went with the return of the Blair Doucet camp?
So I'm going to kick it off with a little history lesson. So Blair Doucet was a past president of the Federation of Labour, and he had a vision for this camp where kids could go to camp, learn about their rights as workers, and have some fun doing it. So when they come up with the concept of the camp, ultimately it was named after him, of course. So that's why we have the Blair Doucet Youth Summer Camp. There's also, like I've talked about it, there's scholarships at the end upon post-secondary, because education is important.
Very important.
So this camp, again, is the first time that it was able to take off since COVID. So we had a blank slate of activists, students, and normally the camp self-promotes itself, right? Because all the kids that have come, they go year to year and they talk about it and they can't wait to come back. So we had a whole fresh batch of participants. And let me tell you what an amazing week it was. We went from day one of not even knowing whose name is whose and doing icebreakers and doing all these activities to the next day, they elected a camp executive. And then day 3, they wanted to come and talk to us because back a couple of days ago, sent them to bed 10 minutes early, which is against their contract. So the executive wanted to have a chat with management.
That's right.
And they wanted to file a grievance. And let me tell you, to see these young participants go from the beginning of the week from shy to the end of the week, we call them, the ugly cry, the happy tears, right?
Yeah.
To the end of the week, they don't want to leave. Obviously, you're keeping an eye on all the participants and the students, and you have your ones you're kind of watching out for them because you see how they're kind of shy, or maybe they're not partaking as much as you would like them to in the beginning. To the end of the week, they're coming to you and they say, "This has been the best week of my summer. I cannot wait to apply for this camp next year."
Oh.
So, I mean, this camp really does touch lives in a way you wouldn't believe. I know Brother West was there, and the same thing. He said about this is the longest he's kind of been away from his dog and his wife and kind of things. And same thing. He said, this camp did a special thing, and he says he hopes to be able to come back next year as well. But the kids did an awesome job. We had presentations. We had health and safety presentation. We did a presentation on from pay equity. There was one there about labor standards. There was so many different things to talk about. And I know it sounds like it's like blah 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 education, but the education is important, right? It's more than that. When the kids are learning about policies and laws and things that pertain to them without being in a union, even, right? When they can go back into their part-time jobs and they can implement the things that they've learned, with labor standards, it's huge.
Yeah,
it's huge, right? Because now these kids, yes, they're not in unionized positions, but they know that they have rights.
That's a big thing. Huge
and
thing.
That's one of the main components of the camp. But it's fun in the afternoon, right? We went to Magic Mountain. They sucker me into the kamikaze. I haven't been on that in over 20 years, so I can put that off the bucket list again.
Oh.
I'm telling you, I woke up with a bruise. I said, "How the hell did I get that bruise?" And I went, "Oh yeah, the kamikaze."
Well, I want to talk about, because I'm a little upset, this 10-minute thing. It's really bugging me. Why would you do that? Why would you send them to bed 10 minutes early? Next, you're going to tell me you locked up doors on them.
No, that was back in 2019.
Well, that's not good either.
We locked them out.
Terrible. Sounds like it went wonderful, but I do have to ask, Paula Doucet was there, the daughter.
Yes.
Of Blair Doucet,
provincial president for the New Brunswick Nurses Union. Yeah.
How overwhelming was this for her to see this all come back together? I'm sure it went full circle. I mean, obviously COVID was a huge kick in the butt for all of us. It sucked because everything came to a standstill, but the Blair Doucet camp really came to a standstill for a few years. So I'm sure for her going full circle and seeing it come back in a big way, she must have been overwhelmed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you have something that's so near and dear, I'll say, to the family, and I mean, being something that her father has created, to see it succeed is huge, right? Because she knows the values in it because she lived it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So she gets it. And, we're getting friend requests and everything from the students and, on social media, and we follow them, we talk to them. And we're always there, even though the camp is over. We let them know you can always get in touch with us. Reach out, if you have questions about anything. We're that safe space for them there too. So we make lifelong connections with these students and everything too. So like Paula says, these are all of our labor children basically, right? So
absolutely,
we've seen them go from you know, being the shy, quiet kids at the camp to getting married, having kids, graduations, you know, we follow it all through. And yeah, so seeing her father's legacy in the form of the camp move forward is huge. And you know, it's a very emotional week.
Yeah,
I had the pleasure this year. I had my daughter there. My daughter Monica was there for the first time.
Right.
And you know, and she says, "I'm not going to call you Dad." And well,
what'd she call you?
She called me Dad.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna have like something really good there.
No, I told her she could either call me Dad or Mr. President, so she chose Dad.
Yeah, I definitely was going to call you Mr. President. But let's wrap this up in a neat bow. Overall, general consensus, big success.
Big success, exciting for next year. Big
Amazing.
Things to come. So for everybody who's affiliated to the New Brunswick Fed, even though it's just over, we're getting back into the school year, but you'll hear me talk about it because we're going to promote the hell out of it.
Yes, we are.
And 2026 will be another extravagant year for the Blair Doucet Youth Summer Camp.
Oh, that's great. Very exciting. Coming up next, we're going to be taking a quick break to talk about one of our official sponsors, Higgins Insurance. Following that, we're going to talk a little bit about 8:30 and what's going on over in CUPE PEI. Something we need to cover. We've got more interviews on the way. And of course, we're going to talk about Labor Day. That will be our grand finale tonight, being that Chris had the craziest weekend ever with it. I was busy all day yesterday. So let's roll some Higgins Insurance because it's the best insurance you can get.
Hey Chris.
Nick, what's going on? Whoa, hey,
sorry.
what's with the saw?
I'm here to help remove the tree.
What tree?
The big tree that fell in the house.
That's the tree that I talked about on CUPE Talk in the Maritimes?
Yeah, I called the boys, man. They're coming over to help me.
Oh,
We got you.
You have to call them and cancel that because I've already been taken care of. That was 8 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, Higgins Insurance. They already took good care of me. 8 years ago.
That's because there's a safety net for the unexpected.
Absolutely. They're there for when accidents happen. Call 506-849-7800, Pettingill Road, Quispamsis. Higgins Insurance. They got you covered.
How great is that? I look at that where we were, and now look at where we are. And I can't say enough great things about Higgins. I know we just talked about the Blair Doucet camp, but again, Brother Bob was there with us. And
was Jude there?
No, Jude wasn't there for this one.
Oh.
I don't think. I wasn't in the parking lot.
I feel like Jude was there.
Maybe.
Jude's a bike. A real nice vehicle, though.
And but you know, Higgins Insurance, they come up and they're huge supporters of that Blair Doucet Youth Summer Camp. And you know, Brother Bob Keys joined us on Thursday night. We did a big dinner for everybody, and you know, he had the pleasure to have Bob join us as well and present us with a check on behalf of Higgins Insurance. So not only do they provide the best insurance in town,
they sure
but
do.
they're also a big supporter of things that are going on within the labor movement. So thank you, Higgins.
Yes, thank you very much. Day 36. Let's break this down. But I would like first, right off the hop, if Brien, you could run the 8:30 video that they did over on the island for us, and we're gonna break this down.
My name is Blaine Parkman, and I've been with the city. I'm in my 39th year. There's a wide range of things that we do. The type of work we do a lot of things, sprinkler systems, fire protection, hydrants. What the people would miss right now with us gone, these cabs are coming in, they're not certified. That deeply concerned us because we saw a lot of issues and the utility scrambling to get people to come in to take over that work, but it's not the same quality of work because our members are engaged with the public, they're dedicated, they take pride in their work, and we want to provide a good public service.
Local 830 is on strike for fairness and respect. For the entirety of the bargaining unit, all 30 members of this bargaining unit is less than $105,000. The city is also attacking things that have existed in their collective agreement for 60 years. So these workers are fighting for appropriate wages, and they are fighting to just keep the things that they already have.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. The members, I'll start with the members. I have 27 of the best members in the world, as far as I'm concerned. As far as the support you get from CUPE, I can't even, I'll be honest with you, when I get into this process, I couldn't even imagine that it was going to be what it was. I mean, from their staff that's here day in and day night, like, I can't say it enough. I can't believe how much support there is. And that's not even from coast to coast to coast, the support that we're getting from all CUPE members. And not just CUPE, all locals, period. So, I mean, it's powerful stuff, I'll be honest with you. And I'm going to be honest, our members are going to be here till the end.
To the city of Charlottetown, you picked the fight with the Canadian Union of Public Employees. And that means all 750,000 members from coast to coast to coast. We will not let these members starve. We will support these members till the collective agreement is found at the bargaining table. We will put every resource that's needed. We'll see you in the courts, we'll see you in the labor board, we'll see you on the streets, and we will keep fighting until we get a collective agreement that works for our members. Solidarity, my friends.
And what do you think of that? Isn't that a powerful, kind of inspiring video? It's inspiring, but at the same time, it's frustrating because here we are, day 36.
I'm very annoyed. I am very annoyed with the municipal government, and I'm to the point now where it's like the public is well aware of what they do. They have made that clear. The public has their back. 750,000 members across this country has their back. But I feel like the municipal government over there is not taking this serious. And I'm going to be very blunt with you. It's really a piss off because 27 members are out there working their butts off day in, day out to provide the best services that they can offer. And the government over there is just like, they'll go back to work. And it sucks because they ain't going back. They're not going to bow down. And if you think for 1 second that they're going to, you are really in the wrong frame of mind because they will not.
Right? I think the municipal government forgets, like you said, there are 27 members over there. But like you heard Brother Mark Hancock, CUPE Nationals, over 750,000 members. So if they think they're picking a fight with 27, they're really picking a fight with 750,000.
That's right. You're damn right they are. And it's getting to be ridiculous. You've been over there. I've been over there. I sat and chatted with the president of 830. And, he told me the exact same thing, which was about, he couldn't believe it. He didn't realize all of this, all the love and support that everyone is showing. And like he said, it is really touching. And it is because we've been there. We've seen that. So we get it. But when there's 27 members out, they don't see the other 750,000. But I'm going to tell you something, that they're starting to rumble the ground. And when they rumble the ground, people start coming.
That's right. That's right. And when you think about it too, 60 years, they've been there 60 years, no strikes.
Never.
Providing top-notch services, for the city of Charlottetown. And now here we are in the middle of a strike. So all they're asking for is for fairness, right? Is that so much to ask for?
No, it's not.
To be treated right, to be paid fairly, and to be respected on the job?
Not at all. They should be paid fairly. They should have respect. They work hard. They answer that call every morning. Every one of them wake up to an alarm to get up and go to work. And they work hard. They go home. They have a family to provide for.
That's right.
Give them what they deserve.
And you always hear people when they talk about money, they say, oh, you should be thankful you got a job and everything else. And it's like, well, you know, when you take on a job, I always explain it like this. When you take on a job and you agree to a certain wage based on a certain level of economy, that's what you agreed upon.
Yeah.
If the economy goes up and your wages aren't going up, well, then the employer's not living up to the contract that you initially signed because you agreed to this big of a wage gap, not this big of a wage gap.
That's right.
They need to bring you back to where you agreed to. And if they're not doing it, then they need to step the hell up and get the shit done because, like, let's face it, enough is enough. 36 days too long. They shouldn't have even ended up out on strike. They should have been, negotiated fairly at the negotiating table. So it's time for the city of Charlottetown to get back to the negotiating table and let's get this deal done. I'm almost to the point now, I'm thinking about calling my own municipal government and saying, hey, look at what's going over here in PEI.
Yeah.
You need to get that stuff resolved because people are losing faith in the municipalities.
That is what's happening. That is going to happen as the time goes on. The municipal government in Prince Edward Island and Charlottetown right now they may think it's only there, but they're not just affecting there. Like you said, people are going to lose faith in their municipalities. And why wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we worry about, making sure we can make ends meet. We worry about paying bills and food and gas and whatever else we need. And this municipal government's over there saying, no, we're not giving you any more money.
Make do with less.
Right. And that is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. So while everyone is over there fighting, they just want a fair contract. And all you have to do, and I'm saying this to you, municipal government, go outside the building and ask to speak to them and offer them a fair contract, something they deserve, something they can take back to their members and say, we did it.
It's just that easy.
Yes, it is.
It
really is that easy.
They're making it complicated, and it's not that complicated. But there are things that the members can do. Obviously, calling the city over there in Charlottetown, calling the city hall, calling the mayor's office. They'll try to give you the runaround and say that they can't do stuff. Well, you know what? Just call and leave a message. And
Call.
Just call. And there's QR codes you can scan and send automated letters. So there's lots of things you can do. And like I said, I'm going to start putting the pressure on my own municipal government right over here in St. John, because like I said, it's if the city of Charlottetown municipal government's going to be leaving a bad taste in people's mouths like that, well, I think it's going to start rubbing off in the other places. And if you can't trust them over there, how can you trust them over here? So they need to start calling over there and say, hey, get your shit together and get it fixed because it's starting to affect us as well.
That's right.
So, I mean, if we got to start spreading the message, let's do it. Let's do whatever it takes to get these members back to work.
And you know what? Brother Chris and I, we're going to continue to push and push and push because that's what we do. That's what we do on CUPE Talk, whether it is our producer, Brian Watson, whether it is Chris, whether it is me, whether it's brother Wes Wills. We will push and push and push till that government gets off their ass and gets out there and offers a fair contract to those great members over there at CUPE PEI Local 830.
Right. I mean, I look at Facebook posts today. I see Sandy Harding, our regional director, is over there with them, and she has her son Jack starting trade school today at NBCC here in St. John, and she's over there doing video chats with him, wishing him well. And so she's over there fighting away from her family to be there for those members. And that's what activism is sometimes. It's making those sacrifices.
Yes, it is.
But I can tell you, with Jack, I've known Jack since he's.
I got a video that says you've known him since you were little.
Right. So I think the whole labor movement here in New Brunswick knows Jack.
Yeah.
So we wish him well on his new adventures at trade school at NBCC, along with Sister Sandy Harding. I know she's probably a pretty proud mama right now. And same with all the students that are going back to school today. On behalf of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes, We wish everyone a safe first day of school, and those that are going back tomorrow, we wish them well as well.
That's right. Just remember, you're driving down them roads, school's back in. So just look both ways, pay close attention. Red buses, when red lights are on, stop. You see yellow, slow down and stop anyway, because you know what? You're going to save a life. So just be extra careful, guys. And way to go. Welcome back to school, everyone. We wish you all nothing but the best, and be safe and enjoy a wonderful school year. Now, what I would like is if we could get, I'd like to get the other video for 8:30. And then, of course, before you do that, let's just talk about my my new favorite woodworking place, Charred Oak. Why do I love them? Because they made me a beautiful CUPE sign that I absolutely love. Do you realize he can do custom? He can do original. He can do just about anything and make you whatever you want.
I had somebody talking to me about a custom crib board last night. They were talking about what being Montreal Canadiens, which I don't condone.
No, me neither.
Right? I'm Leafs fans, right?
Yeah, me too. That's right.
But
Leafs all day.
What better gift than a personalized crib board to be able to give to somebody? I tell you, there's something being worked on out there right now that's for a customer. And I said, good. When you get that done, I think I'm going to ask for the same thing because it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, really? You like
it is.
Nice.
I'm not going to
Cool.
give it away, but if you want to see it, I'm sure there'll be pictures on Charred Oak on Facebook. So check it out.
All right, let's roll some footage.
Hey, Nick. What's going on?
Just ordered one of those elbows up Canada signs.
Don't even worry about it. Here, you can have mine.
Hey, you already got one.
I did. Here.
That's cool. Thanks.
I can get another one.
No.
Hey.
Thanks.
There's a great local business right here in St. John, New Brunswick that I can get them at. Charred Oak Design. Find them on Facebook. Personalized gifts. They make just about anything.
Anything?
Absolutely. Send them an email, info@charredoak.ca, or you can give them a call, 506-343-0454. And remember, it's extremely important to support local businesses.
This is awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Enjoy. Elbows up.
I really like that. Elbows up, Canada. Canada pride right there. Charred Oak. I'm telling you guys, if you check out the stuff on Facebook, you will be absolutely amazed. He can, I'm going to just say he can do anything because I've seen so many different things and so many like things that I'm like, hey, could you make me one of them? Well, I'm going to tell you, he made me a CUPE Talk logo, and it's on Facebook. If you follow us actually on Facebook, you can see it. It's really cool. I'm very proud of it. We're coming down to the wire. We only got a few things left. It's kind of bothering me a little.
Don't worry, we get to do it all again later.
Thank God. Let's talk a little bit about Mikayla Gallant. She was a wonderful guest on this show. Why don't you tell the people a little something about it?
Good young activist over in Prince Edward Island. She's actually on the CUPE Young Workers Committee for representing Prince Edward Island, and is also the VP for Young Workers on the PEI Federation of Labour as well. So great interview, great discussion with her, learning all about what's going on from a young workers perspective over in PEI. And, you know, for those who follow or are friends with Mikayla on Facebook, you can see huge activist, always standing up for members and, you know, putting social media posts out and just doing what I feel is right. It's what an activist should be doing, is constantly trying to make things better for everybody. And that's exactly what she does.
She's unbelievable. She was wonderful to chat to. She had a great outlook on a lot of this stuff. So what I think we should do is we're going to get producer Brien Watson to roll that footage, and then we'll talk a little bit about that after.
Hello, everyone. We are here joined tonight with a special guest, Mikayla Gallant from CUPE PEI Local 805, who just happens to be on the National Young Workers Committee, as well as the Vice President representing young workers on the PEI Federation of Labor. Mikayla, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So we want to just kind of pick your brain. Obviously myself, once upon a time was a young worker for the Federation of Labor over here in New Brunswick. So I can totally relate to what you're going through in that position, and I applaud all your activism. But what we're wondering here tonight is that maybe you can give us a little insight as to being a young worker on PEI and what that means.
Yeah, labor on PEI is a little bit quieter than in some other provinces. A lot of our locals don't have the right to strike. We have a really restrictive labor law. So a lot of our CUPE locals don't have the right to strike. So what I'm finding is because we're not in the news a lot, there's not a lot of education on the union, and we're often sent into binding arbitration or settling for contracts without any real huge excitement from membership. So a lot of young workers don't necessarily know anything about the union or how to get involved. And it's been a real process trying to educate coworkers and reach out to young people to show them there is so much power in being in a union, and what kind of protections they have, and how they can use it to better not just the workplace, but the province as a whole.
Mikayla, tell me what it means for you to be a young worker. And as you brought up about education and not being a lot of it, how important is that to you?
So I was in a union before I was in CUPE, and I actually didn't have a very great experience with it. And I left that job really not liking unions, and I fell into that anti-union propaganda. I'm a cook. I've worked in restaurants my whole life, and that is not a unionized area. There's still a lot of, we don't even follow labor laws in restaurants a lot, right? So to go from that, and then I started working with Health PEI for the government. And that was my second union job. And I was like, I want nothing to do with it. I have my opinions. Leave me alone. I'll give you my dues. That's it. And then probably about a year or two in, we were really struggling to get cooks in our workplace. And instead of, looking at the pay and understanding that our healthcare workers need a better pay, they dropped the Red Seal requirement to hire cooks. And it was a huge disrespect to the cooks, right? You work so hard and so long to get a Red Seal, and I had to wait a couple of years to even apply to get my Red Seal. So I was like, what is this? And I went to my first CUPE PEI convention, and I remember I was sitting with Blair Doucet, didn't know him from a hole in the wall. And I was like, what did we do? How did we let that happen? And we were up, and, I talked to people that whole convention, not understanding the ins and outs of the union. And I left there. I ended up on the CUPE PEI board during that convention. And I was like, well, what do I do? And they're like, oh, it's not much. You just fill the seat. And I don't think I've had a week off since. Yeah, no, it's been an amazing experience, and getting to have a platform to talk about this stuff. And education means the world. There is no union if we don't educate people, because there's so much misinformation out there and anti-union stuff that, yeah, that's probably my favorite, is teaching people how unions work and how really cool they are.
That's an amazing story, actually, because I know I had spoke on one of the other podcasts that we did and talked about activism, and it took me a couple of years as well. And it's nice to hear that there was somebody who kind of grabbed your attention, who you kind of flocked to, who kind of pulled you in. And like you said, once you get involved, you just kind of don't turn back. Obviously, we follow you on social media, and you're always quite active on giving accurate information, but not being afraid to speak up, not only for other members, but speaking up for young workers. So, we applaud your activism. Now, when we're talking about, I know we had talked briefly about it earlier, but we were talking about, you know, with what's going on in the island right now with the municipal strike, and you were saying about how a lot of the islanders don't have the opportunity to strike. So, can you give us a little perspective on how young workers can go and help these different locals that actually can go on strike?
Yeah, so it's funny. The first picket line I really experienced was my first time to National Convention in Quebec City. And I walked by it and I was excited because in my head I was like, oh my God, workers on strike, like this is awesome. But I had no idea how to approach that picket line. I didn't know these people. It wasn't my workplace. So I didn't know you just go up and be like, hey, I'm CUPE, or who to talk to. Like, it's intimidating. So with we have Local 830 on strike, obviously in Charlottetown, our water and sewer workers. And so this time around, I was like, you know what? I don't know these people, but I'm going to go in. And, you know, Sandy Harding, our regional director, she has been amazing. And I feel like social media, for the most part, is like the easiest way to ease young people into it because they can kind of get a sense of what's going on and you can make it like a friendlier spot to go visit. So I've been talking to like the young workers within the workplace about what's going on, why they're on strike, and just trying to make it like a little more friendly to go out and say, you know what, like you can just stop and say, hey, how's it going? You can honk on the horn as you drive by. Like if there's online, I'm sorry, there's like online action you can take. You know, we have the Action Network letter. And they can be just simple steps. It can be getting into the city's comments saying, hey, pay your workers. Like we all saw what happened with Air Canada over the last week, and social media and public pressure plays a huge role in it. And if young people are good at one thing, it's social media.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about CUPE 830 and everything going on. Today, obviously, this show is filmed on the 21st of August, but what are your thoughts on what the municipal government put out earlier? And I only asked because I know that you didn't like it, and I've already seen 830's reaction because they posted something too. So as a young worker, learning, loving this, what are your thoughts on something like that coming out?
You know, it's funny. I've been thinking a lot about this. Like my generation and all the generations coming after, we grew up with social media. We've never had a life without social media. And, you know, throughout school, you were taught how to look at propaganda and how to pull it apart and how to fact check and Google and make sure you check your sources, right? So whenever stuff like this comes out, it's a little easier to start pulling it apart. And I do find young workers, like younger people, are sick of governments in general. Like everyone is, but you know, I feel like we've kind of been let down every step of the way. We were told you go to college, you get a good job, you get a government job, you'll be taken care of, you can get a house. None of that has happened. We're mad, and we just want to be treated fairly, and to see the city put out obviously false information. After seeing a week of Air Canada putting out false information, it's just a copy and paste of employers disrespecting their workers over and over again. And I'm really proud of these workers for standing up. And, you know, even within like my workplace, I see young people starting to find their voice and get more comfortable standing up for themselves. And I think it's like seeing a rise in militancy, especially within CUPE, is something that I just get so excited about because, you know, we're heading into probably some austerity. We're looking at cuts in the federal government, and we're in for some rough times. And the only way that we get through that stuff is strong unions, and militancy is just amazing to see.
Yeah, no, you know, when you talk about like the militancy and everything coming together, it's very important to have people like yourself, you know, as a young worker, up and coming and getting involved as you are, and being that leading force over in PEI, you know, to speak up, because really, like we always say at conventions, young workers are the leaders of the future, and becoming the leaders of today. I mean, you're a true statement to that. You know, we look at everything you do and the way you comment and use social media and do all these things. You know, sometimes it's hard to see yourself kind of in that leadership position, but you know, as a CUPE Talk here, we recognize that, and you are a true champion over there in PEI, and that's why we wanted to bring you on and to have a little chat with you, and just and to showcase the type of leadership qualities that you have. So on behalf of us here at CUPE in the Maritimes, thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, that was way too much. I don't deserve that, but thank you. I really appreciate it.
It was an excellent interview with a young activist. You see young activists like that, Chris, and someone who you've certainly been around longer than I have as far as the labor movement and really being involved. Like she said, that generation, you must be so proud when you're watching someone, you know, coming up and hoping that the next person below her will be the same way. But for the time being, at least we know that generation, they're in good hands when you see someone like Mikayla.
Yeah, no, 100% right. You know, we're seeing a new generation come up, and like she said, that she didn't even want to get involved in everything at first and wanted nothing to do with it. And sometimes all it takes is that little incident for people to say, okay, well, I'm going to figure out, you know, how to get involved. I want to learn more. And then, I mean, I look at you, once you get bit by that bug, I mean, away we go.
Well, I always say that my bug that you're referring to was, hey, can you be a picket captain? Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say in 2025 that was the day that I was like, I'll be a picket captain, but I want more than that. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realized that not only do I want more than that, but I got no problem working it and earning it and doing my part to show those in control, those who are above all of us right now. And we earned that right to get there one day, but you got to show them that you care and you really want it, because a million people will tell you they want something, but not everyone wants to work for it. And that's okay. It's not for everyone. But I was certainly proud to work for everything I've gotten. And, you know, I like to think that I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So I'm willing to continue that. And I hope the next person coming up is feeling the same way that I am.
Totally. And, you know, when we're talking about the different ways that, like, you know, Mikayla's doing her platform and stuff like that, and using social media for all these messages and stuff, I think it's important, you know, that we look at our young workers and say, hey, you know, what can we do to engage members? What can we do to do this? Because you know, we get set in our ways sometimes in the way we like to do things, and sometimes we need to think outside the box. And that's really where our young workers are coming into play. They're helping us do all these different things. But then that's one thing I like about the labor movement, right?
Yes.
You get so many generations that just kind of come together and work and make things function. You know, we're all cogs in the wheel, and you know, when we all work together, we're an unstoppable force.
Yes.
So, you know, hats off to the young workers over in Prince Edward Island. They're doing an amazing job, and they got Mikayla at the helm as their representative on the national level. They got Mikayla at the helm on the Federation of Labor level. So I know they're in good hands.
I couldn't agree more. As we wind down this show, so what we're going to do coming up next here on the show is we have got 2 videos that we're going to be playing, but before we play them, one of them is interviews, and I think you're all going to be very happy with. They're great. And then we're going to play a Labor Day recap, basically some pictures of Labor Day here in St. John, and a speech given by the Premier Susan Holt to the attendees at Bayside Middle School just yesterday. But before we go from our part, because that'll be the ending of our show. But Chris and I, number one, we want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for tuning in and keeping up with everything that Chris and I do here on CUPE Talk in the Maritimes. Remember, you can follow us. Remember, we're on YouTube. That is the main spot. If you give us a like, click that little bell, you'll be notified when we have new shows that are coming up. We are so proud of what we've accomplished here with this show. And Chris, if you could give the listeners one message about, what we do here, what would it be? Sorry.
If one message, I could put it in one word, we're communications.
Yes.
Right? We are the communication network, to put things out to memberships. We, like I said before, and I think in previous shows, we always hear, how can I get in better touch with the members? Well, tune into CUPE Talk in the Maritimes, because we're going to be discussing it. And like you said about the show, the show, yes, we talk about CUPE Talk here in the Maritimes, but we also talk about CUPE from coast to coast to coast. We also touch on the broader labor movement because, we are affiliates of, maybe we'll have to do a segment on that sometime, break it down a little bit, because we all fall underneath the Canadian Labour Congress umbrella. And then there's all these little branches and things like that. So we're kind of one big family tree of the labor movement.
Well, we're going to do like a lot of these over the next 10 months. So maybe we should consider that for the next show.
Who knows?
A little breakdown on how things work here in the labor movement. So I think that's it. We're done. We're gone. We're going to come back next week. Or in 2 weeks, and do the whole thing all over again. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. When we're talking about Labor Day, and before we run into the videos, like you said, I had the opportunity to attend a few Labor Day events in and around the province. Yeah. Started it off at the Moncton location. So hats off to the Moncton District Labour Council for putting that on. It was a really great time. It was at the PSAC building. Again, we had to pivot there because of the cancellation from Centennial Park, but they got the job done. And, I put down a couple of hot dogs, had a piece of cake, a bag of chips from our great friends at UFCW, and popped by the PSAC tent, got some swag, and a great event was had, and it was a great day. And then we kicked off from there, drove up to Dalhousie, and let me tell you, I have never seen a fireworks show like I have seen in Dalhousie. Holy crap. 20 minutes of just continuous fireworks. And then I thought, geez, it can't get any better. Then we saw 5 minutes of that times 1,000 for the finale. Like, it was insane. We had children running over to Brien Arsenault, president of the Dalhousie District Labour Council. Hats off to him and his group, because amazing, absolutely amazing. There was this one family, was at a campground, and the family come over and they said that was their son's first fireworks show. And I felt really good to hear that, but I felt really bad at the same time, because the bar's been set way too high, because that kid's not going to see a fireworks show like you've seen in Dalhousie, let me tell you. But there was games going on for the kids. There was prizes, costume contests, there was pony rides. And then, there was live bands. And then the next day we kicked it off with a wonderful parade in Dalhousie. And if you weren't in the parade, you were watching the parade. The kids know about all the different unions and the swag that we like to bring when we come to these things. There were kids standing on the side of the road, looked like trick or treat up there. They had their bags, just excited to receive all the different union swag. So it was absolutely amazing. And then we took off from there, and we shot out to Miramichi. And again, hats off to Riley Hallahan from the Miramichi District Labour Council. They had a great washer toss tournament. They again had to pivot their location as well and went to an old location. So they had a wonderful event there, and then we beelined it home.
Wow!
So that was 2 days, 3 events.
I think pivot was the word of the week for a lot of us here in New Brunswick, us as well, for the St. John District Labour Council. We had to pivot. Always at Rockwood Park. It's always a wonderful spot. We had to adjust on the fly. We had 7 days to find a venue. We had a great parade, of course. Sean Gorman Wetmore leading the way with the barbecue and the parade, and myself helping with a lot of that. April Babineau, it was a great setup. Everyone worked hard. huge success, and I have to say this. You know where I'm going with this. But if I don't say it, then someone's going to be upset with you and I. Huey.
Oh, Mr. McIntyre.
Yes, we got to say Huey McIntyre. Long story short, great guy. Absolutely love him. But if I didn't do it, I know he's going to watch this and be like, you didn't say it. We're good now. That's it.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good?
Thanks, Huey.
You're the man. Is that it?
Huey asked for a shout out, so we got to give him a shout out.
Yes, he did. Yes. He's a wonderful person.
Before we get to those videos, I just wanted to say, it might have looked unprofessional. You see me sitting here drinking a coffee, super relaxed, but we're talking about swag. And this was one of the swags that I was able to receive from the Labour Council up there in Dalhousie. So thank you, Brien, and the rest of the gang. That was just one of the wonderful things that they were giving out. So I will use that for my coffee from now on.
Wish I had something I could show, but I don't have anything.
You know, come to Dalhousie next year, maybe you get something.
Can't. Gonna stay right here. We thank you all. We appreciate you all. And we hope you will come back and join us in 2 weeks for CUPE Talk in the Maritimes. That was amazing.
Hello everyone, Chris here with CUPE Talk in the Maritimes, and I'm joined alongside me by special guest, Vice President for the Moncton District Labour Council, B.Y. Harris. B.Y., thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much.
We're up here in Moncton for a very special event. As you know, Labour Day is tomorrow, but the event is here on Sunday. So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on here at your event, and maybe give us a little importance on Labour Day and what it means to you?
Well, here we just have folks out. We're at the PSAC building here in Dieppe. We have balloons going on for the kids. There's chips and pop, and we have cake and hot dogs going on. It's a good time to get everyone together and meet people from different unions. That's what I really enjoy about days like this.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, and let's continue the celebrations, and happy Labour Day, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. Hey guys, I am Nick from CUPE Talk in the Maritimes, standing here with Premier Susan Holt. Susan, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be on CUPE Talk.
You have made a footprint today. Labor Day is a very important day. You have walked the parade. You have served corn. You have entertained the audience. How much have you enjoyed today?
Oh, look, can I do first a shout out to Debbie from Millwrights and the United Brotherhood of Carpenters for inviting me to the parade. It was great to be in it and see all of the support from that group, and then the St. John Labour Council here to the barbecue at Bayside, giving me a chance to come and serve corn to the membership. And we've got folks from all sorts of different unions here, whether it's CUPE or PSAC, or I think I saw Unifor. It's an awesome day to celebrate Labor Day, which we have thanks to the labor movement and thanks to unions across our country. So I'm excited to be here and have the chance to participate.
The fact that you were able to find the time, being so busy, Labor Day, it's a day that you could have been in Fredericton doing stuff, but you are actually here in St. John, New Brunswick, as you said, at Bayside. We are so pleased and so honored that you would take the time to come down here.
Thank you. It's worth it. St. John has a reputation for being a strong labor town. There are strong unions here, there's strong workers here. It's the oldest city that we've got, and the movement is deep and strong in St. John. So if I'm going to celebrate Labor Day anywhere, it's going to be here.
I really appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. take this opportunity to say hello to everyone who's come out to celebrate with the St. John Labour Council and wish everyone a happy Labour Day. First off, I want to recognize the work of the organizers. We have the president, Sean, here with us, who did some serious work to turn things around in 7 days to get the location shifted, and has organized, I think, the highest turnout that this event has ever seen. So thank you very much and congratulations. I want to take a quick minute to recognize the members of my team that thought Labour Day was important enough to get up and get out and be here with you. So we have Minister David Hickey, MLA Kate Wilcott, Minister Aaron Kennedy. I'm going to look for Minister John Dornan. Somewhere there he is, Minister Dornan. Who else am I missing? The most important one that I'm going to flag is Minister Alison Townsend, who as of today has become the new Minister of Labour for New Brunswick. She's right there beside you. We thought that Labour was an important enough file that it be given to one person to focus on, because today we celebrate Labour Day thanks to the work of you folks. Organized labor in New Brunswick, in Canada, and around the world have pushed to have holidays like this one for workers, better working conditions, fair pay, good negotiating terms, and improving the standards for work in our province and beyond. Alors, c'est notre opportunité de vous remercier. C'est mon opportunité de donner du travail à Alison, because good labor relations require work, relationship management, communication, constantly getting together to make sure that we're advancing those wins-wins that make New Brunswick a safer and better place for people to work. I'm really proud of our government's track record. In the past 10 months, we have signed collective agreements, and we have signed them not through litigation, not through strikes, not through mediation, but sitting down at a table, talking back and forth, and signing excellent agreements with CUPE 1120, CUPE 1251, 1252, 1253, 1283, 2745. We've now got Crown Council done, 7 labor agreements done in about 10 months, and we are not stopping there because there's been a lot of people waiting for good pay and better conditions for a lot of years. Notre gouvernement veut avancer des bonnes relations de travail. Je suis vraiment fière de Minister Townsend qu'elle prend cette portfolio. We are going to continue to listen as the labor movement pushes and pushes for better rights and better working conditions and making New Brunswick an excellent place to work. And our government is going to be there to be a partner with them. So thank you to Nick, to Shauna, do I have that right? And the whole team who got involved in buttering corn and barbecuing hot dogs and giving out pop and setting up bouncy councils and playing excellent music so that you all can support the workers of this community that help to build our province. Happy Labor Day!